Hi everyone, so this is your makeup look for the year. So what you're going to be getting is the Morphe Jekyll & Hill palette in Dark Magic, and then you're also getting a Lippy Primer by ColourPop, and then the lip shade More Better by ColourPop, which is this berry color. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to apply a primer. For my skin type, I would suggest if you're oily, get oil-free. If you're dry, get moisturizing, whatever you feel is necessary to help your makeup stay on the longest. I'm so sad, I'm almost out of this. I love it. I'll list all the products that I recommend below. Obviously you do not have to buy them. Use whatever you feel most comfortable with, but my recommendations will be down there in case you guys need any help. So we're going to apply 3 little pumps of foundation on my forehead and cheeks, and then I'm going to take a damp beauty blender and tap it in all over my face. I would suggest using a slight amount first before you apply a lot, because you can't take off excess unless you take off your entire face. You can always add on more though, so that's my 2 cents right there. I would suggest mostly using a tapping motion. Use swipes if you feel like you need to get it across a large area in a small amount of time, such as if you guys are in a rush. This video can only be 29 minutes long, so I'm trying to do my best to get this done quickly. And then just keep on blending. Sorry about the fact that there's no cuts. Our editing software is not really working, so I'm just gonna do this as quick as I can. That way you guys don't have to sit through like a really long video, because I'm sure you guys don't want to spend your day watching me do this. Alright, once that's done, then you can go ahead and take your concealer. Mine is basically out, so let's just ignore the fact that I have to scrape the sides. And I'm going to apply it under my eyes, on my forehead, my chin, and on my nose. This will help add highlights to your face, that way you don't look like a blank canvas from far away. Okay, and then once we have that done, then we can go ahead and take our beauty blender and tap it into place. Ignore the slight staining by my mouth. It's from a different lipstick that was not wanting to come off. So that actually brings up a really good point. So when you guys get your lipstick and all that, make sure that you have the lid completely closed, because the Rhythm Girls were having issues because their lids were slightly open and they got all over their hands and it stained their hands. So ColourPop is a really good brand. They're really pigmented, but the thing is, they're so pigmented that they stain. So make sure your lid is completely closed and do not get the lipstick all over your face, especially when you have foundation on, or else it will possibly stain unless you get it off immediately. So sorry, not completely sorry. Sorry, that sounded really mean. So I'm just gonna dip my beauty blender into powder. I'm gonna bake my face. This will help with creasing and making sure that eyeshadow fallout is not an issue. So I'm just tapping it wherever I crease, so on my chin, my under eye, and then on my smile lines. Once you have that into place, then you can go ahead and get started with the palette. I would really recommend, if you guys have an issue with eyeshadow creasing, or you find that you sweat off your eyeshadow or your eyeliner mixes in with it, getting a eyeshadow primer. There's really good ones by NYX and Urban Decay if you need any help with that. So we're going to go into Shh, which is light brown color, and we're going to tap off the excess, and we're going to put it in / slightly above our crease. Now if you're a double, don't worry about changing your eyeshadow look between the two shows because they're so similar that the judges won't know the difference. The only thing you will have to change is your lipstick. So be really careful about that though, because like I said, the lipstick is a little finicky. So apply it pretty close to your eyebrow. Don't get it into your eyebrow though. And then we're going to go into the shade Mojo, which is the dark brown color. Tap it into your brush. Tap off all the excess. Apply it onto your outer corner. And then blend her out. I like to press a lot of pigmentation down first before I blend. That way I can kind of mess around with the levels of how much I have. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend it out. Make sure that you're not covering up the light brown shade. And I had something else I wanted to say. Oh, don't carry it into your inner corner because that will make your eye look really dark and judges won't be able to see your eyes, which they want to. So be careful of that. And then once you have that down, you can go ahead and take the shade Poof, which is this light cream color, put it on a finger, and then put it all over your eye. It doesn't matter if it gets on the brown because you're going to blend that back out anyway. And like I said, blend the light brown and dark brown shade back in. Now if you're of a, what was I going to say? If you are of a darker complexion, you do not have to use Shh if it's too light for you. Obviously you can use Mojo and Temptress if you feel like you need those, but I would suggest using Poof because it's like a bright shade that kind of helps like dilute everything. So just use whatever you feel is necessary to get the general point of the look across. Once we have that down, then we can go ahead and take an eyeliner. You can use whatever you feel is most comfortable, but if you're a beginner with eyeliners, I would suggest getting an eyeliner pen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a like bar liner down first, and then I'm going to wing it out. Sorry about my sound effects and my weird faces. Well, actually, that's fine. Keep in mind that judges cannot see how on fleek your eyeliner is, they just want to see the general point. So if your eyeliner isn't perfect, it's completely fine. So after I have that down, sorry. it's fine. Like I just said, it doesn't have to be perfect. So once you have that down, then you can go ahead and where your upper lash line and your lower lash line connect, extend the line outwards to try and connect with your eyebrow. Don't touch your eyebrow though. And then make a little triangle and fill it in. Once you have that done, then I would suggest taking a powder brush and dusting away all your excess powder and powdering the rest of your face. Make sure your powder doesn't have really bad flashback though, because if you take flash photos, you will have weird streaky lines on your face from the powder. So I would suggest getting a good powder that you know doesn't have like a white reflect. Research is the best thing that you can do to find out if a powder does indeed have flashback. Once you're done with that, then you can go ahead and do, no, not yet. We can take the color again, tap off the excess, and then put it under your eyes. Just add a little bit of definition and carry it about halfway through your eye. Don't make it crazy heavy, because then your eyes will look too dark and you want judges to be able to see your eyes looking bright. That was a weird phrasing. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly coat my lashes, top and bottom. And then you can go ahead and get your lashes started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue on my thumbnail and then guide the band of the lashes through. I would suggest getting a bigger pair than what you normally wear. Like if you wear lashes every single day, which I don't think most of you do, get a fairly big pair because you want your eyes to look big and bold from far away, so the judges are able to notice that you actually did your makeup. That sounded really mean. So coat them, and I'll show you them here in a second about how big they should be. So this is a pretty minimalistic pair. They're big, but they're not huge. And here are my favorite pair. They're really big. I would really suggest investing in one pair that's really good that will last you throughout most of the season, because buying a bunch of little pairs is not really... I'm trying to think of the right words. Words are not my friend. Anyway, don't go with a small pair. That's basically what I'm saying. So while we wait for those to dry, what I'm going to do is take a angled brush like this and dip it into my brow pomade and do my eyebrows. So you don't want them to be like really dark. You want them to be natural, but like bold enough that they're able to be seen from far away. Because again, in the time period, they didn't have crazy overdone eyebrows. Eyebrows are sisters, not twins. It still doesn't look like they're dry, so I'm going to go ahead and do my blush and contour. I'm going to use the lovely brush that I got at Camp Merce and use a natural shade of blush. Please don't use hot pink. And I'm just going to apply more than I think I need. That way my face has color from far away, because the stage lights really wash you guys out. So we'll make sure that your face looks pretty natural in stage sense from far away. If you guys have any questions about my wording or stuff like that, go ahead and comment or ask me in person when you do see me. And I will gladly explain what I meant if any of you guys get confused by what I'm trying to say. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my contour, dip my brush in it, tap off all the excess. And I put large amounts on my cheekbones, and I'm going to blend them out here in a second. And I also apply it across my forehead, and then down the sides of my nose. That way, again, my face has coloration and definition from far away. Lashes still look kind of wet, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my highlighter wherever my brush is. I'm confused. Oh, found. Now, the palette that I got you guys has a silver in it, but it mostly only works on darker skin tones. So I would suggest putting a light, like a pink or another silver highlighter on underneath, and then putting the palette silver over top slightly if you're of a lighter shade like I am ghost white. So I would suggest doing something like this, where you put on a pretty heavy amount of a different highlighter and then blend a little bit of the silver on top. So now I have that down, I'm going to go ahead and grab this. And the color is called Power Cut. I'm going to take it on my brush, tap off a lot of the excess, and then lightly coat the rest of my highlighter. Now the reason why this would mostly work on darker skin tones is because it has a darker reflect in it, which shows up on my face. So I just want to warn you guys before you try and use it if you're like my shade of pasty. And then I'm going to take Power Cut again. I'm going to put it on my inner corner. On my Cupid's bow and on the tip of my nose. That seems really dark. Hold on. I'm gonna apply my normal highlighter on over top. That way you're not able to see that dark reflect. Like I said, it doesn't work on everybody. It's a little bit better. Sorry. And it looks like these are dry enough to use. So I like to grab them by the middle / outside of the lash. And then I place them in the middle, and then I direct them as needed. You cannot be squeamish with eyelashes. You have to just go for it. And then what I do is I squeeze them into my natural lashes. That way they have a cohesive look. And do the same with the other pair. The other lash. Alright, those are on, and so I think I'm on to lipstick now. So take your lippy primer and apply it all over your lips. You want your lips to be at least semi moisturized before this because it will transfer into the cracks. Rub it in, and then take your lipstick and apply it as usual. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I totally just swiped this all over my face. I would suggest taking a concealer or foundation and then putting it over top. Good enough. I'm sorry. There we go. And then what I like to do is I take my foot's going numb. I like to take a a setting spray that is like oil controlled, and then I spray it all over my face. And this is the finished look. So thank you guys so much for your patience. I really hope you guys have an amazing Thanksgiving break, and I hope that we excel in all of our competitions, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you so much.